Problems. The ones most people don't have the stomach for. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties.
Well, I was actually born here. I lived here until I was 8, and then my mother passed away. And I went into an orphanage. Jack and Jill's Watson's Receiving Home is what it was actually called.
You know, we had some really traumatic events when we were really young. So I was 6, my brother was 9, my sister was 10, where our home was really destroyed by an ex-boyfriend of my mother's. We were forced kind of into domestic violence shelter.
I found myself on occasion living out of a rusty old car and trying to find a way to get the next step up so I could get more stable. And I was only handicapped by decisions I had made.
When my children were 4 and 2, I realized that I was in a relationship that was not good for me or my kids. And when that relationship ended up getting physically abusive, I decided that I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. It wasn't right for my kids. It wasn't right for me. It wasn't going to work.
Problems that can't be solved. Great Rivers United Way goes looking for them.
I think because of the Boys and Girls Club and because of the services that helped my mom out, I never felt poor. I felt that we were so wealthy and we had all these wonderful things, and we could go to this club where I could participate in gymnastics.
You know, not smoking cigarettes, not doing drugs, not getting in trouble at that point, and just kind of branching off into, you know, hobbies and sports and more kind of normal youth behavior. And I think I can trace that really started with having a big brother and a different person to look up to in life.
People who support those kinds of programs allowed me to get into college, because at the time I didn't have the money for it. I had to figure out how to piece it together. And that gave me a leg up to get out of this cycle of just finding this job to the next that might pay for a while.
Talked to people at New Horizons who were very helpful and sort of helped me with that initial week of transition and trying to figure out what I was going to do with my kids, my life, my job, what was I going to do? And so they were a resource to me.
No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds.
The changes in United Way have been really incredible in the last 4 or 5 years. So really going from a fundraising organization to a community impact organization, really working with partners and with community agencies to drive the community forward.
They're drawing together collaborative efforts of groups of people, charities, and others that can help with sponsorships to back it up, to address all these different issues. And so that, to me, is probably the primary difference over the last 10 to 20 years. It's made a huge difference in the results.
And I hope that through this Guitar Academy, sometimes we give kids that little leg up, that not only are they learning to appreciate the arts, but they've got an adult paying attention to their development.
Just last week, my CASA kiddo is not a lovey-dovey kid. And when I got there, she ran up to me and embraced me and allowed me to embrace her. And I think this is pretty special. She's got somebody that she trusts and that she's going to develop a relationship with.
Great Rivers United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in our community.
Sometimes people aren't aware that how great the mission of the organization is actually vetted and that they're actually looking at results. So once they understand, once this potential donor understands that, you know what, we can show you that these dollars that you give are making a difference.
The United Way provides an opportunity to look at all these agencies, what the community needs are, and try to coordinate all those efforts through their programs so that the community is stronger and we're addressing these needs. So I think the impact of your dollars is much more greatly felt in the community when you go through the United Way.
I think that one of the greatest values to United Way and funding United Way programs is that they do the work for you. You know that they're funding great programs that have great outcomes, and they're doing all that legwork. There are a lot of struggling folks in this community in a lot of different ways, and there are a lot of great folks helping.
And ultimately, what it comes down to, and what I have told people to do, is if you don't want to give to United Way, sign up to be a grant reviewer. Sign up to be a grant reviewer one time and review the grants that United Way reviews. They ask the community to review those. So after one time of reviewing those grants, if you still don't see any value in United Way, I'll leave you alone. But I will disagree with you.
Because change doesn't happen alone. To live better, we must live united.